guys, welcome back to another episode of my Wedding Bell series. Today I will be talking about the roles and responsibilities of your bridal party. This video is all about bridesmaids. Specifically, I'm going to be talking about their roles and responsibilities, which you may be surprised to learn is a very short list. I apologize in advance if this starts turning into a rant, but I've been seeing a lot of things on Facebook lately that really get on my nerves. The first point I want to mention is that a bridesmaid's only responsibilities are to buy the dress that is approved by you and show up on time to the wedding, relatively sober. That's it. That's all. That's all they have to do. Make sure to ask your bridesmaids separately what their budget is for the bridesmaid dress. The reason that you don't want to ask them in a group is because one person may be embarrassed about what their budget may be and may say that it's higher than it actually is based on what the other bridesmaids say. So ask them individually and try and find a dress that works for the bridesmaid that has the lowest budget, because that way everyone's happy and everyone's able to afford it. Recently I've joined a couple of wedding Facebook groups just for fun, just to kind of see what other people have been posting and talking about. And it's just been blowing my mind how many people post things about firing their bridesmaids or demoting their maid of honor or any combination of those things. And I just cannot fathom how someone can look at their best friends or, the most important people in their lives and think to themselves, this person isn't doing what they're supposed to be doing. I think I'm going to delete this friendship out of my life. Essentially, that's what you're doing when you fire a bridesmaid. That friendship is never going to be the same. And frankly, if you don't care that your friendship is never going to be the same, or if you don't care that that friendship is essentially over after you fire them, then why did you ask them to be your bridesmaid in the first place? I would never in a million years ask my best friends to not be my bridesmaids anymore because they weren't living up to expectations. Their expectations are to get the dress and show up. Anything extra is an added bonus, and by no means do you ask for any of these things. If they offer to help you with your DIY projects, which by the way, DIY literally means do it yourself, then that's great. That's great that they want to help out. But there should be zero expectation of, bridesmaid get-togethers. I was reading stuff about how one bridesmaid wasn't coming to this bride's monthly bridesmaid meetings, which the bride organized so that her bridesmaids could get to know each other. Personally, as someone with social anxiety, if I happen to not know one of my friend's other bridesmaids or several of the other bridesmaids, I wouldn't feel super comfortable being forced into this social situation where I'm basically supposed to become friends with my friend's friends just because we're all in her wedding together. That's not necessary. It's not necessary for your bridesmaids to be friends. So don't force it on people. Not necessary for bridesmaids to be your glitter-covered slaves and help you out with all of your little projects. And I know what you're probably thinking. What about the parties? What about the bridal shower? What about the bachelorette party? Those parties are completely optional. They are not required. By no means should you expect your friends to shell out more money to throw a party for you. Parties that are completely not really necessary. Look at it this way. The main purpose of a bridal shower is literally to shower you with gifts. And a bachelorette party is just to go out and party and have fun, which is the same as any other kind of outing you might have if you weren't getting married. So if you get upset and consider firing your bridesmaids for not offering or for not contributing as much to these parties or not contributing as much to your DIY projects, then honestly, you're getting married for the wrong reasons. Your wedding isn't about all the presents and gifts that you're going to get. Your wedding isn't about all of the cute little things you make. Sure, those things are adorable and they make for great pictures, but at the end of the day, that's not what is important. The thing that's important is you're marrying the person that you love, that you're going to spend the rest of your life with. And the thing that's important is that you have your nearest and dearest friends or family members standing up next to you on that day. Those are the people that you have decided to honor on this day by having them stand up with you, because they have been good friends to you, you honor their friendship, you appreciate them being there for you and supporting your relationship. That's the point of a bridesmaid. I also read someone else say that bridesmaids basically should be doing anything that you ask, because why else would the word maid be in the word bridesmaid? The term bridesmaid actually refers to someone who was not married, someone who was single. That's what the suffix of maid means in this particular word. That's why for maid of honor, if the person is married, it's matron of honor. So no, they're not your maids. They're not there to get your beck and call. You need to remember that your bridesmaids still have lives of their own. They have important things happening in their lives as well. Just because you're engaged and planning a wedding does not mean that suddenly your wedding is the center of the universe, because it's not. You get one day, and if your friends are there for you and they're standing next to you in the correct dress on your one day, then that's great. Then they're fulfilling their duties. They're doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing. I mean, sure, maybe the maid of honor will hold your bouquet during the ceremony and fix your train up a bit, but as far as duties and roles go, that's as far as it goes, in my opinion. Now, for the people who have fired their friends, which, by the way, they're not your employees, they're your friends. You can't fire them. Then the next question is, how do I pick a replacement? First of all, uneven bridal parties are not the end of the world. They're totally fine. And I don't need to ask people that I'm not close with to be my bridesmaids just to fill spots, which is what a lot of people end up doing, and then that's how the drama happens, because they ask people they weren't close to, therefore they don't really care about those relationships being affected by wedding drama, in which case they end up firing them. And it's just a silly cycle. Just ask the people that are most important to you. Ask the people that you would never in a million years consider firing. And please, for the love of God, if you do happen to have a bridesmaid step down on their own, which is also fine, people have things come up, but don't have a replacement, because that's not fair to the bridesmaid that you're replacing. And that's not fair to the person that you're asking to be a replacement, because they're going to know that they were second choice and that you're only asking them to fill a spot. Some other random advice that I have regarding bridesmaids: no one is going to care about your wedding as much as you do. Probably not even the person that you're marrying half the time. I can say that from personal experience. So try and limit wedding talk to a minimum, because people do kind of get burnt out with wedding talk, especially if that's all you're talking to them about. They're probably thinking to themselves, like, you know, I never get a chance to tell them what's happening in my life. Just make sure to remember to ask your friends, who are your bridesmaids, you know, what's going on in their life. Have non-wedding related conversations, because otherwise it just becomes too much. And if you are having an issue with a bridesmaid, just remember they are your friend first and your bridesmaid second. If they have something going on in their life and it's preventing them from, you know, being there for you in terms of wedding related stuff as much as you would like, try and just sit down and have a heart-to-heart with them. You're both adults. Talk to them. Talk to them about what's going on in their life. Ask if they're okay, because they're your friend first. You need to remember that. And whatever is happening in their life, or whatever behavior they're exhibiting that you're not too fond of, most likely it's completely unrelated to your wedding. There's been a lot of people where their bridesmaids haven't been very supportive or haven't really wanted to talk about wedding stuff much, and they automatically assume it's because they're jealous that you're getting married and they're not. And I just feel like that's a very, very self-centered point of view. I don't know why people would automatically jump to the conclusion that someone is jealous of you, rather than maybe they have something going on in their life and they feel like they can't talk to you about it because you're pressuring them too much about, you know, wedding responsibilities and all that. Or you just, you know, haven't really touched base with them in a while on a personal level, like apart from wedding related conversations. So just keep all these things in mind. At the end of the day, you're marrying the love of your life, and that should be the most important thing. I don't know, I just feel like people forget how to treat their friends when they're suddenly planning a wedding, and it's just really bizarre to me. I would never think of treating my friends the way that I've seen some conversations on Facebook. It's really sad, honestly. It really is. Anyways, I'm really sorry this turned into a rant, as I predicted it would. But I hope you take some of what I said and apply it to your own friends, because they are your friends and your family. And like, there was one situation where someone fired their bridesmaid and they were like their future sister-in-law, and you gotta think, at least if you're firing a bridesmaid who's a friend, if that friendship's done, then it's done and you don't have to see that person anymore. But if they're a family member, like, they're gonna be around. Like, how do you deal with that awkwardness? It's not worth the drama. It's just not. So please, please, please heed my advice and treat your friends with dignity and honor and respect, and remember that you're asking them to be your bridesmaids because you love them. So anyways, look out for my future condo tour video, which should be coming out soon if I have time to edit. And pretty soon I'm hoping to make a video introducing my own bridesmaids. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to get back on a more regular schedule now that we're all settled in. And I hope you come back to see more of my Wedding Bell series. Bye!